to me, 'cause I'm just the kind of girl with a stinging in the beat, but the rhythm's getting higher. Go, 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 go. One in a million, 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 one in a million. I know it's me you see through the shadow, my reflection. The meaning of your being is you can't resist my nectar.
You've tuned into What's in Your Closet, presented by Sizewise Closet Coach. It's our bi-monthly online meetup where your closet intersects with style, sustainability, and technology. Have you ever looked in your full closet and said you had nothing to wear? Do you cringe at the thought of shopping? How about finding the right size? Guess what? You're not alone. You can make your wardrobe align perfectly with your lifestyle and values with our virtual closet audit services. You'll always have something to wear. If you're looking to revamp, declutter, or spice up your closet, you've come to the right place. Our chats are about style, sustainability, and confidence. Get comfy, grab your favorite beverage, and let's figure out how to create a wardrobe that works for you. Let the transformation begin.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good morning or good night, wherever you're joining us from. My name is Damien. I'm the founder of Sizewise Closet Coach, and we're a virtual closet audit service. We're designed to help you sort, organize, and streamline your wardrobe through our virtual closet audit sessions to help you shape your closet to fit your unique body and lifestyle so that you can show up for all your special occasions feeling stylish and confident. Let's make getting dressed fun. Today, we have a special guest. Her name is Miten Chaduri. She's the founder of Maka Maka Lifestyle, a sustainable and artisanal home and fashion brand. She's joining us here today via her location out in Canada, and we're happy to have her today. How are you today, Miten?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Damien. And hello to everybody. And I'm actually right now in Atlanta, Georgia.
That's right. You lived in Canada and you moved. Yes, you're a nomad. You move around. So
Exactly. And
yes,
that kind of represents the picture behind me.
absolutely. How's the weather in Atlanta today?
Oh, as muggy as it can be.
Yeah, we're down here in Florida too. We're avoiding all the humidity we can.
Exactly.
So tell us really quickly, let's get right into it. We only have 30 minutes. What was the inspiration behind creating your brand and your commitment behind sustainability?
Sure, I would love to. And I would start by saying that I used to be part of the corporate world, but at some point in time, I figured that my creativity was really trying to be wanting to be let out more, and I wanted to be a social entrepreneur. And I kind of went back to the days when I was growing up in India, and we used to travel a lot. My parents had wanderlust, which I have inherited. And as we traveled, we visited so many artisans, explored many crafts, textiles. My mom always bought a sari from every region we visited. So that I think subconsciously stayed with me. So when the time came, I decided that if I was going to be giving up my cushy job and the promise of a salary, then it would have to be something meaningful and something where I could give back to the environment and to the community that I was going to work with. And sustainability, eco-friendly, all of these things kind of fell into line for me. They were something that I was very, very passionate about.
Awesome. And growing up, what would you say was the conduit to get you on this path?
I believe my education here in the US, when I did my undergraduate in Terry College of Business at University of Georgia, and then I did my MBA in e-commerce, that basically gave me the foundation. So the tools were there for me to sort of explore and use when I got onto this journey. And I'm a voracious reader. I do a lot of research. So I think that also comes from the discipline of the education that I had and professional life that I had in the US. So all of it put together, I think everything came together when I was ready. I just had the experience and I knew how to use it for myself.
Awesome. And I know I gave you a little bit of intro in the beginning on just what you shared with us, but if you could like share a little bit more of your background story with our audience so they can get to know who you are.
Sure. So I'll just do a really quick summary. So I came to the US as a Georgia Rotary student scholar to attend the University of Georgia, did my undergraduate, did my BBA in Management Information Systems, of all things, and did my MBA in e-commerce, worked here in the corporate world. But then I started exploring, and not just in India. I've traveled, I've had the privilege to travel around the world. And as I did, I met with so many amazing artisans, explored crafts, enjoyed what they have been doing for centuries. And that I think was a very fascinating experience for me. And so all my designs are kind of travel inspired. So even when I'm designing this new line of cactus leather bags, the thing that comes to my mind is how would somebody who's traveling use this particular bag that I'm designing, make it easy and fashionable at the same time?
That's amazing. So help us out. How do you incorporate multi-purpose pieces into your collection with incorporating the idea of helping travelers experience your pieces? Like, what's the thing that inspires you most to create a collection that addresses these needs?
Well, Damien, first of all, I think with all the statistics available to us these days, if anybody has been paying attention, fast fashion has really, really disrupted our climate, the pollution that we have created. So I think keeping that in mind, I've always figured that if I can create versatile pieces that are easy to carry, easy to wear, at the same time, they can kind of transition between a day look to an evening look, uh, where you have your staples, your blacks, your beige, your tans and blues, but then add a little pop of color, just like something that I'm wearing. So these are linen cotton blended capes that we've designed, and you'll find a lot more on our website. And right behind me is the kimonos, which I will show them to you. So we have this beautiful peacock blue and a black, which you can wear with a black dress. So these things, when we travel, we want to make things easy, light, something that does a little Marie Kondo. You roll it up and you put it in there. And so something like this works very well. It's really light. You can fold it, put it in, even in your purse. That is how small it packs. But then you can wear it in three different ways. So right now I have a dual tone. Then you can turn it around and then
Nice.
it becomes something on the side. So it's like a side split. And I know we can't really show this on the camera
Oh
very
no,
well.
please, yeah, we appreciate the live demonstration. Let's see how it
Right.
works.
So now you have a different look altogether. Let's say you're feeling very going for a flamenco, concert or something in Sevilla. So you might want to wear something that's vibrant, that's bright. So you have the red in front. Then maybe a little later or another day, you want something that's more blue. So you just turn it around, and there you go. You still have the pop of color, but you have the blue and the red. So we have some staple pieces like the black, the platinum gray, the coral, the peacock, but then we're also doing these alternate colors where it's dual tone, and depending on what mood you are in, you can actually just kind of keep turning and create your own style.
Yeah, it's incredible. Even just looking at the demonstration, how just turning the piece around from the red to the blue, how it completely transformed the piece. Is the piece you're wearing, is that reversible or it only wears on that one side?
Well, that's a very good question because that's kind of on the anvil for us next. This piece is not reversible. you could kind of use it reversible if you just kind of take the tag off, because the way these fabrics are woven, they're all custom colors. So when I actually tell my weavers that these are the colors I want, then they go into weaving the amount that I want, because I don't do a whole lot of inventory. Again, moving away from fast fashion. But what we plan on doing in the future is giving it a little heavier feel. So maybe layering two different fabrics and then creating a reversible look. And that could also be from all the offcuts that we have. We can do like patchwork designs. This way, we don't all look like that we've come out of an assembly line. There are some unique pieces, and it may be just two of the same, one of the same, even more special.
Right. And how much does a piece like that retail for now?
Right now, these retail for $110. So you're basically investing in something that will stay with you for a longer time. You get multiple use out of these things. They're also, to be noted, made in Atlanta. So I work with local seamstresses. So the fabric gets woven in India by artisan weavers, men and women. And the actual finished product is made here locally. So I'm trying to promote more onshoring in our sustainable fashion collection.
Amazing. So tell us a little bit about your relationships with the vendors that you use, the artisans, in order to get your collections together. And yeah, if you would share with our audience like what that process has been like, how have you improved it, and where is it today?
Absolutely. So it definitely has been a journey. We kind of started out in 2008. And at that time, I was living in Vancouver, and this was purely a vegan silk home textiles collection that we started off showcasing in Maison Objet in Paris and New York Gift Show in New York, obviously. So I have always been a very hands-on person. Uh, don't like the whole concept of going through middlemen. So I spent money and my personal time to actually go out to India, because obviously I knew what was there and what was available, having grown up there. And I knew exactly what kind of natural fiber I wanted to use, which was the vegan silk. So I think that year, 3 trips to India was how I started. So you can imagine the attention to detail, the commitment that I had towards making sure that the process that was involved in curating the pieces, they were first of all in a fair trade environment, and sustainable processes were being used. No child labor was involved. And I actually established a relationship with the weavers. So when you're working in the craft industry, this relationship aspect is extremely important, because in that world, a lot of the rules kind of, there are gray areas. So it's not very structured like in the corporate world. So a lot of things can be done if you have a good relationship. And so that is extremely important. So as time progressed, and then when I actually moved back to India for about 5 years, when I had my store and cafe there, that was the time when I really, really established a very strong network. And again, a lot of going and visiting them, and then understanding the process, forming those bonds, and trying to figure out how can we continuously strive to make our products more sustainable, more eco-friendly, repurposing products. So even the jewelry that I'm wearing right now, this is made from scrap metal. So not throwing away, curating the pieces of scrap metal. The artisan I work with, he creates these beautiful pieces, which we sell on our website, and we also sell through museum shops. So that's usually for our wholesale line, that's who buy our products. So I think it has been a great learning experience, Damien. I mean, first of all, understanding that when resources are constrained, people become so innovative. And what I loved about my journey through this, and not just in India, I mean, I've been to South America, I've visited artisans there. People constantly innovate, and they are adapting to the modern world. So something that used to be used for one purpose in the old times now has they have no use. But that doesn't mean that the artisan has lost his or her livelihood. They've adapted. They've adapted to technology, which is WhatsApp, their smartphone. Most of them don't have a laptop or anything, but they conduct their business through their smartphones. And this is in different countries that I've seen. So this is very, having come from a technology background, I think this is really, really fascinating for me, that how people are actually using the tools available to them, still continuing their ancient craft practices, but they've innovated and adapted to the modern needs and the modern world.
No, this is awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And it's interesting what you just shared sparked a question for me. How do you communicate all that value through your collection? Because a big part of fashion today is we're seeing it as a disposable item, right? So, how do you get clients to support sustainability and fair trade through your collections and showing the importance of all the hard work that you've done so far in each piece?
That's a great question. And that is definitely something like small brands like us, we struggle with, but we can do what we can. Most importantly, providing information, transparency. I think that is something I've always tried to do as best as possible through our social media, through our Instagram, through website, YouTube, documenting the processes, documenting the people behind the processes, the story of the material. And we don't use any non-natural products. So everything like in the textiles is either cotton, linen, silk, and vegan silk, not even the commercial silk. So definitely a lot more goes into what we make, which we provide information in our hang tags. So each piece goes out, whether that's jewelry, whether that's home decor, textile, our clothing, each piece has the story of the product with it. Also choosing the right channels of distribution, that is very important, and this is the reason we focused heavily on the museum shops, and we are also members of the Museum Store Association, because people who tend to go to museums, obviously they'll stop at a museum shop, they are looking for that additional interesting thing, something that has a story. Why do people go to museums? That's the first question. So once you answer that question, then you know that the people who are going to the shops to buy products, they are also they're supporting a certain belief system, certain philosophy. So I think finding that niche market to sell to, in terms of our wholesale line, that was also very important. But constantly, at least on our social media, if you follow our Instagram page, you'll see that we every day, whenever there is a post, there is a little story about who's made it or how it's being made, where it's being made. The clothing, we always mention it's being made here in Atlanta, but the fabric has been woven in India. So I think transparency definitely helps in today's day for consumers to make mindful choices for their products.
No, that's great. And you touched on a key word there, stories. How much of the background story of each artisan do you incorporate into your storytelling, whether it's on social media or through the branding of your products?
A lot, actually. If you visit our website, there is a dedicated page for social impact and artisan stories, craft stories. So the people that we work with, the artisans we work with, that's locally and internationally, I have documented their stories, their pictures, their videos. So anybody who's interested can at least go there and have a look and understand, it's being connected to the hands that make these products, and the thought process that goes into making the products. For our fashion collection, we've been upcycling vintage saris. So we have, like, in the Atlanta area, there are a lot of people who donate saris to us, which once we sell products made out of them, there's a portion that goes back to an organization that supports victims of domestic violence. So we've tried to kind of create this local economy as well, where it all feeds into one another, and it's benefiting all the different spokes in the wheel.
Nice. So you're not only building collections, you're building community.
I'm trying to.
Nice. So how would you share tips to clients, yours or anyone else, on how to build a more sustainable and versatile wardrobe?
I would suggest first to take your services so that they can understand what works best for them. You know, what is the right size for me? Most of the time, we find that we keep on buying clothes because they look good on the racks. But then, even if we tried it in the store, sometimes it looks good there. But then when you come home, it's like, this isn't something that I can see myself wearing. So, sizing, number one, get that right. Secondly, I think have those staple pieces, but then create interest through accessories, overlays, and something like the kimono back here. If you're wearing something black, like even a black top and a black pair of pants or jeans, just add a kimono to it. Add this layer, and this works any time of the year. So you can have something heavy underneath and just have a pop of color on top. If you even the capes are the same thing. So I'm trying to create more versatile and all season pieces. So that way, when you're investing in something, then it stays with you for a longer time. So choose natural fibers because they are better for your skin. If possible, if you can find out if the product has been dyed using either azo-free dyes or natural dyes like indigo, pomegranate, madder root, these things are very good for our skin. So when somebody is buying clothes for their personal use, read as much as possible, at least find out what that product contains. At the end of the day, it's on our skin all the time. Um, Also, mix and match. I think that's a great way to create a versatile look for our closet. And buy good, buy less. I think this is like my mantra that if you're going to be spending your hard earned money on clothing, buy something that will stay with you for a longer time and it will also transition. I think buying clothes not to fit with the expectations of social media, but with what you're most comfortable in, feel confident in, and that will kind of transition through the years as much as possible is very important. And we all know that we want those $10 something that we know we're just going to wear it for a little bit, or it's going to be that under layer on where we wear something on top. That's totally fine. I don't want to be judgmental or anything, but when you're spending money, like something that is a good piece, then make sure that this is something that will stay with you and will not disintegrate after a few washes and you're done with it. So
No, you're
mindful consumerism.
you're absolutely spot on. So I think your brand definitely covers versatility well. This is what it does. It's multi-purpose, multi-use. The thing that I'm hearing a lot, especially from clients, is the definition of sustainability. Some folks think sustainability means buying a product that's made from all mushrooms or natural ingredients. On the other hand, sustainability can also be a mindset. In your brand, how do you approach the way you communicate the definition of sustainability to your clients? Is it all about the materials used, or is it about helping people create a mental model that allows them to use any piece that they have in a sustainable manner?
I would say probably a combination of both. Um, when I look at sustainability, I something that is it's an ecosystem. It's not just the material, it's sustaining our environment, sustaining the climate, sustaining people who are involved in making the products, sustaining a craft that has existed for centuries. Um, and it's also sustaining our own personal fashion choices. So we have to really think hard when as consumers, even when I buy something, let's say if I'm looking for a particular kind of gift that I can get made by myself, and I would also like to support somebody here, my first place to go would be Etsy, because again, I'm trying to support something that is handmade, and I always look for something that is available in the US. So some maker here is making it. Maybe choosing, maybe not 100% sustainable material, but at least checking some of the boxes. Sometimes it's just not possible. It's the reality of it is that sometimes it's just not possible to be 100% sustainable, but we just make, you have to kind of create that framework in your own mind and say, which boxes do I want to check?
No, thank you for sharing that. And you're absolutely spot on. So because of the nature of your collection and the brand that you've created, you work closely with designers, artisanal craftsmen, and you have created that experience for your brand that allows you to make certain decisions that other brands aren't able to do. So the question for you is, how do you see the role of artisanal craftsmanship in the future of sustainable fashion?
Fantastic question. The future is hand. This is something I have been reading up on, something that I've been seeing as, a tagline in a lot of places, especially in the museum shops and the museums that I sell to. Um, I think people have now kind of gotten a little tired of the same stuff that is being churned out, and it's more mass market. And now, and especially I've seen this trend happen post pandemic, that people are more interested in the special pieces. There's a thing called quiet luxury that has evolved sort of from that pandemic timeline, where the consumers are focusing on asking questions. They want to find out the behind the scenes story. So artisanal fashion is going to be the thing going into the future. And supporting a community, supporting a craft, and the conservation of a particular craft is also something that is resonating very well with the consumers. Not obviously everyone, but a certain portion of the population definitely is much more interested in finding out, where is this made, how is this made, who's making it. So you'll see the fashion revolution signs where people hold up, who made my clothes, or with the person who's actually stitched the clothes, that I made your clothes or I made your accessories. It's important for people to know that there are some real people living in good conditions, getting living wages to make your product. So it
Right.
is definitely the thing of the future.
Now, what are some of the biggest misconceptions that you see individuals have about this approach?
Ah, well, I think a lot of people still don't really understand what it takes to make everything sustainably. So therein, I think lies that, ooh, I'm not so sure that what you're saying is true. There's a lot of greenwashing happening as well. And that is something I think throws people off. So that is also a challenge for small brands like us, where we constantly have to get the message out through various channels, either through our distribution channels or through our particular, our own social media and website. I think even brands such as Nest, powered by people, Fair, they are focusing very much on artisan made products and creating that platform for retailers and wholesalers, or makers and retailers. So this way, when the product eventually ends up in the store, then you know that it has been sourced mindfully and ethically. So if they are making that process transparent, then again, in the mind of the consumer, doubts start getting eliminated. So that way, I think it's constantly telling the story, sending the message out, and telling people, come to our world. It's a much prettier world.
Right. Well, thank you for being an ambassador for this role. And I'd like to just take this last minute that we have to have you reach out to the viewers and tell them how can they support you in your mission and your effort.
Absolutely. And thank you so much, Damien. I truly appreciate this opportunity to speak to your audience. And what I would like to say to everyone, please visit our website, follow us on Instagram. We have a lot of videos on our YouTube channel, and all the links are available on our website. There is also a promo code that is available to you called, which I think I'm sure Damien will be sharing, where you'll get 15% off on the entire order until December 31st. But read the stories, watch the videos, and I think educate yourselves in terms of what sustainability truly means and who these people are who are making these clothes. And that is the best way you can support this cause. If you buy anything from our website, I will be very happy because each piece has a lot of meaning for me. And if it reaches your home, that will be a very appreciative thing from my end.
Awesome. And what parting words do you want to leave with our guests today?
With our guests?
What parting words would you like to leave with our guests today?
Wear beautiful clothes,
Love
look
it.
pretty, be confident, but then do it for yourself. Don't do it to please social media or any other person. Be confident, be yourself, find out what is your true look, and then enjoy it. And if it comes from our collection, absolutely. If not, just buy mindfully. Be mindful consumers.
And with that said, we've reached the end of our show. Thank you again, Mitten, for joining us today and sharing the great work that you've been doing with your brand. I encourage everyone to go to the website, check out the work. She's been doing great work, and we've met several times before this show. We've actually met virtually as a part of the Georgia State University class event a few times. And whatever I can do to support you, please feel free to reach out. I think you found an ally in Sizewise Closet Coach. And this is the end of our show. Thank you for being a part of it. And we look forward to engaging with you in the future. Thanks for
Thank
joining,
you so
everyone.
much.
Yeah, I'm looking
Thank you,
forward to
everybody.
another episode of What's in Your Closet.
Thanks for being a part of our community. We hope you're leaving with inspiration, actionable tips, and a renewed sense of purpose. Keep in mind, we do this twice a month, and we'd love to see you again. If you enjoyed today's chat, please share and follow us to stay updated on all our future sessions. Until next time, keep styling, keep smiling, and remember, your closet is a canvas and you are the artist.